This is Pam from NortheastWheelsEvents.com at the 2019 East Coast Indoor Nationals in Timonium. We're sitting here with Daniel checking out his 63 Lowrider. And I really would like to get the whole story behind this. First off, what did you start with?
I started with a solid 63 convertible that I found in Canada.
Oh, really?
I did. I found it in Canada. I purchased the vehicle sight unseen. Just saw a couple of pictures on the internet.
Wow.
And a gentleman named Jeremy come down, bring the car over the border, and I grabbed it in New York.
Oh, nice. Now, when was that? How many years
Back
ago?
in 2004, 2005, right around there.
Very good. Very good. And then this is what you built.
I drove the car around like that for a couple of years, and then I took it completely apart, and this is what I built.
This is absolutely mind-boggling. Now, let's start the front end. First, let's start the front end. I love all the billet work that you've got here. This is remarkable. What's all the counters there? What's all that about?
So these guys right here, for the car show, they made us take the batteries off.
Right, of course.
And tape them so that we wouldn't have a fire.
Right.
So these guys will tell you the voltage on the battery.
Okay.
I actually added 2 batteries to this vehicle. That way I can run a pretty intense sound system. It's a Chevy 350 small block that I have in here with a 700R4 transmission.
That looks like about 750?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a huge carburetor. I love it. I love all the chrome work you did with the cover of the heater box.
We tried our best to go with a chrome and paint look.
This is beautiful.
The entire engine compartment.
Now, of course, with the suspension, you've opened it up over there.
Yeah, so you see we have, because the car has hydraulics, we have reinforced the actual upper and lower control arms. And these are the cylinders that actually push fluid down to raise and lower the vehicle.
Right.
We ran hard line throughout the entire vehicle, so we don't have any soft line.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
Yeah, one of the things that some people go through with the soft lines is they'll tend to break.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, of course, because they're always flexing.
Correct.
Now, when you raise, you don't have any shocks on here, or?
So, the vehicle does not have shocks. What it has is, that is essentially a hydraulic shock.
Okay.
It extends and comes back down, and then you have your coil underneath it, and that's how you get your ride.
Oh, okay, because like the Citroën uses, and the Konis use a gas and hydraulic combined.
Correct. This is just the hydraulic.
Gotcha. Okay, very good. Very good. This is absolutely beautiful under here. Now, of course, the hydraulics. We'll go over the paint. This paint is just remarkable. The flake on through is just so outstanding. And by the way, I also appreciate that a lot of lowriders, they don't build the interiors. You did, which is nice.
Correct. So
this is gorgeous. Gosh, I'm trying to pick up all the detail. Oh, I love it. Just love it. So let's go over the paint. Tell me about the paint.
So the paint is a medium teal that was sprayed in Jackson, Mississippi, in a shop called Street Toys by a gentleman named Walt.
Very good.
So he sprayed the base teal on the vehicle. When I got the vehicle back from Mississippi, we went ahead and sprayed on top of that base.
Right.
We did all the designs where we did the candy and we did the darker teals, and the flake and everything that you see on top of the car was done over here in Virginia.
This is fantastic. Fantastic. That is like the hallmark of the lowriders, is this outrageous paint. I want to show the hood. I love the way how you transition from the hood. You can really see the metal flake right there. The pinstriping is outstanding. This is fantastic. I love this transition into the interior. That is beautiful. Just beautiful. And of course, now tell me about the placards. That is typical of Lowrider.
Yes, so that represents our car club.
Very
Our
good.
club is called Individuals.
Uh-huh.
It was founded in 1976 in California, Los Angeles, California.
Right.
We have, I want to say, around 26 chapters, 26, 27. We're worldwide. We actually have a chapter in Japan as well.
Wow, that's great. Do they also run Chevys there, or do they run Toyota?
Oh, they run Chevys.
Very good.
Mostly Chevy Lowriders.
Very
Even
good.
in Japan.
Oh, that's great. That is outrageous. I love it, love it, love it. Now, how did you get involved with the lowrider culture?
I started lowriding at a young age. I'm originally from Homestead, Florida.
Uh-huh.
And I think I started with my first lowrider around 1991.
Very good.
It was a Buick Regal, like a 1986 Buick Regal.
Yep, a box.
And,
Okay.
yeah,
A brick.
I've been lowriding ever since.
That is great. This is great. Now, of course, I'm going to take a long shot of the car because this is just so outstanding. And then we're going to go into the works because this is really what makes it. Oh, just what an outstanding car. I love how straight the panels are. You did a great job in those quarters. Now, of course, let's go into the hydraulics.
Okay, so these are actually aircraft hydraulics from the 1950s.
Cool.
This setup was actually built by a gentleman named Mikey Shiki out of Los Angeles, California. It took Mike probably, I want to say two and a half years to get the setup built.
My gosh.
And Mike actually fabricated everything that you see here.
Right.
He had a friend they call a knucklehead that helped him find the parts. Because these guys were all sourced from him. Most of these parts.
Wow.
He fabricated. This is actually an oxygen tank that he fabricated into a hydraulic tank.
That's your reservoir.
That's the reservoir where the oil is. So this
Correct.
is your sight glass, so you can actually see how much fluid you have in the vehicle.
Very good. Then, of course, goes down to the various pumps. Now, each pump is individually controlled for each wheel.
Correct. So
Very good.
4 pumps. Each one controls one corner of the vehicle.
Now, why do you have the different size electric pumps?
So these they call roosters.
Roosters,
these are big,
okay.
big roosters.
Uh-huh.
And these are actually 280s. Fan motors, all of them.
Oh,
So when
okay.
the car actually goes up and down, these fans actually spin
Right.
with the pumps.
Well, you've got to keep those motors cool.
Yeah. And Mike did this himself. Like usually whenever somebody builds a setup, they'll use the same components as far as pumps.
Right.
Mike decided on this one that he was going to use different components. So he used the roosters for the front and the 280s for the rear. And he just gave it this kind of cohesive look, you know? So
It
there's
is
a lot of
great.
guys that have aircraft hydraulics. We still have a lot of folks that try to run aircraft, which is it's just old school way of running hydraulics. And everybody has a very unique setup. And this is, in this particular configuration, it's the only car in the United States that has it.
That's great. Now you're running 4 batteries or 8 batteries?
So 8 batteries.
8 batteries. These are remarkable monsters. I see you have them in series, not
Yes.
parallel.
Yes.
Wow. So are these 24 volts then?
48 volts.
48. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's why you
Running
have the
48
two banks.
volts, yeah, so we'll run 48 volts to the front and 48 volts to the rear.
Correct. And again, that's why, because each bank is 48 volts
Yes.
going through. Wow. And then, of course, you got your amplifier back there.
The old school Rockford Fosgate amplifiers.
That's great. I love the mirrored look on the trunk. That's a brilliant, brilliant touch. I like that. Now, everything's controlled underneath the dash.
Well, we have 2 switches here in the trunk.
Oh,
We can
okay.
actually do front and back from right here in the trunk. A
Okay.
lot of people ask about this, like why would you put switches in the trunk? And for us, it's very difficult to get the vehicle secured in a trailer. And the reason for that is the vehicle is never the same height, right? So when
Okay.
we go in and we gotta bring the vehicle up in the air to strap it,
Right.
and then we lower the vehicle, your suspension moves, right? Your straps gotta be retightened.
Ah.
And inside of a trailer, if you're a big guy, you don't have room on the sides to
Yeah.
walk around. So we put switches in the back so that you can actually just lift the car and drop the car
Oh, that's too
from
cool.
the trunk.
Now, then you have underneath
Then
the
you
dash.
have, underneath the dash, you have the switches for the actual system.
If you would be so kind, could you open the door?
So
Right in back of you, no problems. Oh, that is fantastic. What a nice job. I like that with the Chevrolet up on top on the bezel.
yes, that was a custom piece that was made for the car. As you can see, we have the bench seat, power bench seat on it, and we had kick panels that were made so that we can get sounds.
Oh, nice. And move it over. There you go. You can see the speakers. I just want to close in on that. That is really sweet. I like your tilt, but even your steering wheel follows suit.
Yes.
Wow, this is fantastic.
We wanted to make sure that we maintain the same, cohesive paint job throughout.
It's beautiful. Just beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Now, the one thing which is always intriguing, I love the skirts, is the fact that you always use 13-inch wheels.
We do.
Wow.
Not everybody does it, but it's just a staple of lowriding. It's just what we do.
Yeah.
So these are 13 by 7 Dayton wire wheels. They're 72 spoke, what they call cross lace.
Yes, for the strength.
Yes.
Oh, that is fantastic.
The tires that I run on this vehicle are pretty unique as well because they've been discontinued, I want to say, for like 6 years.
Oh yeah, P155 80,
So the Firestone brand FR380s, a lot of guys stocked up on when Firestone decided not to make them anymore. And
Now,
I was one of those guys.
Your rim width seems a lot bigger than what your tires should be.
We do stretch the tire onto this rim.
Yeah, I
It's
see
not
that.
the
You can see the way how it's
155s,
closing
80.
out.
Yes.
Wow.
It's just because of the width of the actual rim.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's twice the width of the actual tire.
Do you run tubes in there?
Some
Tubes?
guys do. Some guys
Okay.
do run tubes. I do not.
That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now, of course, the whole thing is with the lowriders, the thing is the dance, going up, down, and doing all the...
Yeah, so
Explain
that has
that,
changed
please.
throughout the years. It depends. Most traditional people nowadays will run 4 switches.
Uh-huh.
And allow the car to go front, back, and then use individuals in the back, so you can 3-wheel if you want.
Okay.
So there's not much dancing. Before, in the 90s, let's say for instance, they would have 16 switches.
Oh,
they would,
jeez.
they would have a panel that was this big. We'd moving switches back and forth, and the car would be dancing all over the place.
Yeah.
Not a lot of guys do that anymore.
What about the bounce?
So you can't do any bouncing with this car because the aircraft hydraulics are so old; they're just not strong enough. So if you look at the rest of, let's say for instance, the Regal that you see over here,
Uh-huh.
right? And it has 4 pumps that are more modern pumps.
Right.
And they just push out a lot more pressure.
Okay.
Over 3,000 psi of pressure on the hydraulics, and then you can do tons of different things to make the car bounce higher.
Uh-huh.
And that will just come down to preference. on-
Well, of
on
course,
what
because
people
each
wanna do.
one is your own unique creation.
Yes.
So this is so brilliant. I love it. But the culture is so rare here in the East Coast, and especially in Northeast.
It is. It is. We're a small group. I moved out here from the West Coast in 2003,
Uh-huh.
and I think the movement here has been growing steadily since around that time. It was here before I got here. It's going to be here after I move, if I ever move out of this.
Do you
this
guys have a
area.
website or a Facebook page?
So we do for individuals. It would be individualcc.com.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
And we have some of the features there of the cars that came out. Some of the chapters are displayed there.
Good.
Just like I said, we have them everywhere. So
Yeah, this is great because to get involved with the culture is so much nicer when you're with a club. So you know what to do and you get an idea.
yes,
So
you
that's
always,
a
you
big
always
thing.
get help.
Oh, that's fantastic. This is just absolutely so outstanding. I gotta get the jackets, of course. So we get the cheap plug. There we go. I have to show the, again, the trunk. Just beautiful. We're gonna pull back a little bit. I won't get a good shot here, unfortunately so, but I'll get right over here. This is beautiful. I really appreciate the guided tour.
No problem.
Fantastic. Again, this is Pam from NortheastWheelsEvents.com at the 2019 East Coast Indoor Nationals in Timonium, PA. Maryland. Duh! I'm getting just thrilled with this car. I'm sorry. I love lowriders. They're so outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. For more cool events like this, make sure you check NortheastWheelsEvents.com, SoutheastWheelsEvents.com, and UKWheelsEvents.com. And of course, the club is
Individuals Car Club.
Individuals Car Club. Check it out online. I'll see you guys at the shows.